Hi, I'm back. I'm Dr. Joe Eckler, licensed clinical psychologist, coach, yoga teacher, some other stuff. And welcome to part 2 of the step-by-step process to help you get more comfortable wearing a mask if you would like to. If it's causing you anxiety, panic, nervousness, that sort of thing. If you haven't watched part 1, please go check that out first. And just like before, I'll also give you the disclaimer that I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here to say whether or not you should wear a mask. I'm not here to debate about the effectiveness of masks. I'm not here for any of that. I'm just here for people who want to wear one and are dealing with anxiety about wearing one and would like a little help with working through that. Okay. So the other disclaimer is not an easy process, right? I know our last homework was maybe a little bit mild. This next one might be like a little bit more. Each video, we take it up a notch. So the idea is to get used to, kind of get used to something until the anxiety goes down a little bit, and then try something that takes a little bit more effort, courage, that sort of thing, and then keep stepping up as you get used to things. Okay. So, and one of the ways we're going to do that is kind of following, there's this process that isn't instinctive, right? We think like, okay, if something doesn't feel good, then I should get out of there right away, right? You put your hand on the stove burner, you take it off, right? Because it's hot, ouch. So, and we tend to do that with emotional things too. However, our anxiety sometimes gets confused and we start feeling panicky about things that maybe aren't as dangerous as our anxiety says they are, or they aren't dangerous at all. You know, sometimes our mind just gets a little mixed up and then our body goes on full alert and it's exhausting. So there's kind of a process of that we can go through to kind of expose ourselves to those things and show our nervous system, show our anxiety, like, hey, you know, this, we can do this thing and it's not quite as bad as you thought it was, or we can handle it, or maybe the whole world won't fall apart if I do the thing, right? So, but there is a curve, right? So when we first think about doing the thing, and let's take, I have a hard time with roller coasters, right? I am not a roller coaster person. Maybe you love them. But for me, if I think about going on a roller coaster, okay, so my anxiety is already like going up a little bit. And then if someone told me like, okay, on Saturday, we're going to go to the amusement park and go on a roller coaster. Okay. And so my anxiety would already start going up just thinking about Saturday. Through the week, as we get closer, it'd be going up a little more. Getting in the car to go to the place, going up more. Actually, like walking through the gate of the amusement park, going up more, seeing the roller coaster, getting in line, like knowing I'm next, actually getting in the seat with the bar, and then like it actually starting. Okay. And going really high, right? This could be a panic attack level. You know, it could be anything. If I jumped out of the car, the roller coaster car right then, the last thing I would remember about that roller coaster is feeling totally freaked out and like I couldn't handle it, right? So we can check out at this point. We can check out physically, like actually leaving the situation. We can check out the substances. We can check out by just like distracting ourselves and just totally mentally leaving, right? If we do that, it is an option, but if we do that, we're always, it's going to be harder to come back to it the next time because we're going to be feeling like I can't handle it. I remember last time I had to leave or whatever, you know, it was awful. So because your last memory of it is that panicky point. Okay, if I stay and ride the roller coaster, it's probably not going to be a lot of fun. But at some point, I'm going to realize, like, oh, I'm still alive. Like, oh, maybe I can handle this. Maybe it wasn't so bad. And then the anxiety starts to go down a little bit. It might not go down 100%, but it might go down, from this point to this point. And then this is the last thing I remember about the roller coaster. It was like, oh, it was scary for a while. And then, but I did it. It was okay. Maybe not my favorite, but I survived it. So we remember a different level of anxiety about that, experience. Our memory of that experience isn't as bad as it would be if we left up here, right? Okay. So that's kind of part of the process we're going through, but we're going to take it, these steps, like little tiny, and you can do each one just until you feel comfortable with it. And then you can move to the next one and then move to the next one. Okay. And just remembering that when you start a new step, you may get to that peak point and then just see if you can ride it out just a little bit longer. So then your last memory is that of that doing that thing, the last time you did that thing was that you could handle it, right? Instead of you ran from it, right? Okay, tough stuff. One of the ways we can kind of measure this is there's a fancy dancy scale. They'd be called the SUD scale, subjective units of distress. Really fancy name for like how anxious are you? So we're going to take it from 0 to 10. We'll keep it simple. All right. 0 is like totally chill, like this fuzzy guy. Like just hanging, legs are just hanging out, just like I'm a warm, fuzzy unicorn place. Like I have no anxiety whatsoever. Chill. This is 0. Whatever 0 is for you. So think about like, is there a time or a memory where you really didn't have anxiety? Like you felt really relaxed, you felt really safe. That's our 0. Okay. And its subjective part is that this is different for everybody. So what 0 feels like, different for everyone. Examples of 0 would be different for everyone, right? Okay. And then this is 10, totally panicked, the most freaked out you've ever been in your entire life, totally anxious, right? So once you're 10, okay, the worst anxiety ever, right? So we got 0, we got 10, and 5 is somewhere in the middle, right? So some anxiety, but not like this, and kind of okay, but not this chill. Okay. In between. So I'll be asking you to do your homeworks till you get to a certain number on your personal scale. You could even write it out, like what your 10 is, what your 0 is, and then what's a 5, kind of in the middle. Right? Okay. Cool. Got that. So the first step here is we want to start just even. We've said the word mask. We've talked about masks. So now it's time to start just kind of approaching them slowly. So we're just going to look at masks, right? So I'm going to share my screen in a second. We'll just have some images and just kind of look at them. Okay. These are totally random from Google, so I didn't pick them any particular way. Okay, are you ready? So just kind of notice what your number is right now when we're like talking about looking at them. This might be easy for you. You might feel like, oh, this is like a 1 or a 0. Or you might be like more 8, 9. It's okay wherever you are. Just notice your number. And here we go. Okay. So now we're looking at some masks, right? You can look at kind of the different colors. There's like some plaid, some white, there's some stripes there. Looking maybe a little kind of different shapes. We're just looking. Make sure you're breathing. Might also be interesting to look at beyond the mask, right? Look at their eyes. It looks like she might be smiling a little. Kind of looks kind of off into the distance, just looking a little friendly, looking a little curious, you know, looking, maybe look at their shirts. Look at their hair. You know, like there's a lot to a person beyond the mask part, though it still catches a lot of our attention because it's not something we see all the time. You see masks? Okay. Just looking at them. And if this is a high number for you, you know, you might do this exercise on your own until you get down maybe 3 or below, you know, just looking at different masks, right? See some different ones. Watermelon. Oh. Okay. Lots of different masks. There's animal faces. You might even caught up in some of the cleverness of some of them. There's some creativity. Okay. Paper masks, like a lot of different Star Wars ones, kinds of different masks. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're back. Okay. So just take a moment, notice your number, and just breathe. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. Move around if you need to, if that felt intense, right? Yeah. So this is just a really, like I said, small step, and we'll do some more steps. But the first step is just even looking at them, right? And if vision isn't useful for you, then going and just feeling some, right? Or just, you know, just the tactile part. Okay. All right. So your homework, remembering your why still, and just looking at mass until that SUDS level, you know, little SUDS is 3 or below. So we're going more towards the unicorn, right? 3 or below, keep trying that. If you're already below 3, go on to the next video now. If you're not, then keep looking at them, giving her, you know, a few minutes at a time until it feels a little bit easier. Okay. All right. We'll see you next time.